Welcome to Via Voices, the podcast dedicated to exploring the many facets of assisted living and memory care. In each episode, we will delve into a range of educational topics featuring expert guests, real-life stories, and practical tips and guidance to empower seniors and their families. Via Voices is your trusted resource for making informed decisions when it comes to senior living. I'm delighted to be here today with two executive directors of assisted living, and we are going to delve deep into what it's like to live in assisted living, what assisted living and memory care is all about, and really we're just going to try to help you all that are listening and watching this to help you make good decisions when it comes to your parents and what to do when the time comes for assisted living. My name's Andy Briefer, and I am the proud owner of Via Elegante Assisted Living and Memory Care. I'm here with Ira Branson.
Hello.
Ira is our executive director. Ira and I have worked together a very long time.
10 years.
10 years. And we've seen a lot, haven't we?
Oh, we have.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun and a good ride. And Amy is a registered nurse, and Amy is our executive director for our Sierra Vista properties.
Hello.
Hello.
Great to be here.
Good. It's good to have you here. Amy has a wide breadth of experience dealing with hospice and elder care, and she really helps our residents and family members navigate assisted living in the wonderful area of Sierra Vista, where we have two properties. So today's episode is all about finding the right fit for assisted living. So what does that mean, finding the right fit? What does that mean to you, Ira?
It's finding the place that's going to be able to meet the needs of your loved one that's coming into assisted living, where you are going to find that comfort and knowing that your loved ones is going to be taken care of, and finding the comfort that when you leave town or go on vacation, you know that there's still going to be that communication, that care, and that love that's being provided to your loved one while you're away.
And is that easy?
No, it's not.
I mean, when you're talking to families and they're like knowing that they need to do something, but don't know how to do it, how do you guide them to find the right fit? What are some of the things you talk about with them?
Having an extensive nursing background, I think it's important to know what the needs of your loved one are when looking for assisted living versus skilled nursing or long-term acute care, hospital. There are many levels of care that come into play, but finding the place that feels like home and that gives you the ability to take control of your life while making sure that your loved ones are in a safe community are all things that come into play here, Andy.
Yeah, and I think that most people think, I know like my mother thought, don't put me in a nursing home, even though I've owned this place for 20 years and it's not a nursing home. She was like, I don't want to go to a nursing home. And my sister would say, would promise my mom, I'll never put you in a nursing home, ever, ever. And I know my grandfather was in a nursing home back in New Jersey. So it's a really hard thing, but the world has changed with respect to what's out there to take care of people. It's not, nursing homes are different. As a nurse, do you want to describe like what services a nursing home offers compared to, and then we can compare that to other options?
Absolutely. There's a lot of negative stigma around nursing homes and a lot of guilt when you have to place your loved one in a facility to get the care that they need. A lot of times people don't realize that actually placing their loved ones in a community where they can get the care alleviates stress for both their loved one and themselves. At a skilled nursing facility, you're looking at a facility that is providing 24/7 nursing care. Maybe your loved one needs wound care multiple times a day. They need IV medications or IV management. Things that would require a nurse on site 24 hours distinguishes the difference between a skilled nursing facility versus an assisted living. And here at Via Elegante, we do high acuity assisted living. So even if your loved one has things that would require nursing services, depending on the level of the nursing services, we can help accommodate your loved one as well.
And so what does high acuity mean?
So in our facilities, we accept residents who maybe have a Foley catheter, who have tube feeds, and who require a higher level of service that most assisted livings will not accommodate. However, we have the staff that is trained to accommodate those needs so that your loved one can still be in a facility that feels like home versus an institution.
Right. So I think acuity is how much help someone needs. A low
Yes.
acuity would mean not a lot of help. A high acuity would mean a lot of help. So when people are looking, one of the questions when we talk to people when they're calling and say, "Oh, we're interested in assisted living for mom," one of the defining differences is we ask, "Are they still driving?" And what do you think? What kind of answer do we get normally?
Nope, they are no longer able to drive and no longer safe to do so.
I think we get answers like, "I wish they weren't driving,
Yes.
but they still are.
Yeah.
How do we take the license away? What do we do?" And I know we guide people through that. Oh, they're driving, but they shouldn't be driving. And then where are they driving when they're getting close to ready for assisted living and they're still living at home alone? They're
they're-
driving to McDonald's, they're going through the drive-through, they're doing anything that's easy for them
Right.
where they know their path, they know where they're going. And that's not the best food for you to be eating every day, as it's the only thing you can do to be independent. So if you find mom or dad are driving but really trying to stay close and trying to maintain their independence, that's a sign that they're probably ready for assisted living. But then what's the right place? What if they're still driving and just want more excitement and activity in life? What are good options for them if they're, just getting old, maybe a little forgetful, but want to have some fun in their day versus watching TV all day and being with each other?
I think a community-like environment, like what we offer over at some of our communities, Tucson Mountains locations, Sierra Vista locations, is more geared towards the residents who are more active, who wants to socialize and be around people, engaging in activities, whether that be, bingo or the exercise programs that we offer, or even the music that we have coming into the community. I think a lot of it is about finding the right location or right fit for them, whether it's a bigger environment or a smaller home-like environment where their needs, their higher level care needs can be met within those homes.
And we can do couples and we can do,
We have quite
Single?
a few couples within our communities, but yeah, we can do couples within our communities and private rooms, shared rooms. And a lot of the times, sometimes our residents who come in a private room, they find a friend, they're able to socialize and connect with each other, and they move in together and become roommates. So I think in the social aspect at Via Elegante is big when it comes to finding the right placement for your loved ones.
Yeah, I think the right fit, sometimes you don't know the right fit. Sometimes you have to try on a few clothes to see if they fit correctly. So if we're focusing on what is the right fit, what we like to tell people is any assisted living is not a long-term commitment. You're not writing big checks for buy-in fees and making big lifetime decisions, such as maybe if you went to a CCRC, which is a big community that has independent living, assisted living, memory care, nursing homes. They have big buy-ins, and you buy an apartment and you lease the apartment and work it all out. But with assisted living, it's month to month. So it's a nice thing. I mean, what a hard decision, right? Hey, mom, you need to move to assisted living, and mom might not be 100% with it to understand, or she might have a great conversation with you, and then you come in the next day and say, "So what do you think? You want to go tour a place?" And then she's like, "What are you talking about? I'm not moving." And so I think it's really challenging. But with assisted living, it's 30 days at a time. So you can pack a suitcase and try it. And if you don't like it, you move out. no harm, no foul, and you see what it's like. I know that with my mom, to get her to move in, she packed a suitcase. She came to Via. She we packed her summer clothes because she came in the summer. She spent 30 days there. I did visit her a lot while she was there, and then after a month, she said to my sister, who lived in L.A., "You know, I kind of like it here. Why don't you bring the bedroom set?" And so then we brought the bedroom set, and then we moved the other furniture out and brought in the bedroom set. She got very comfortable. And then after that, she's like, "Yeah, this is a good place. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat. I've made some really good friends at the dinner table here and people that I enjoy talking to.
Yeah.
I get to see you more often because you work here, but even if I live close by, it would be the same thing." I used to, after work, I'd grab my mom, put her in the car, take her for a cheese crisp. And we'd have a cheese crisp and a margarita. Then I'd bring her back to Via, and I'd go home and have dinner with my family. And I'd know that she was safe and she was going to be in good hands. So 30 days at a time, she acclimated and then finally was like, "This is the place for me. This is where I want to be." Can you think of anyone else that's gone down that path?
Yeah, I think we emphasize, especially when we're touring with families, that we do 100 hours, 100 days. It's not easy. We're getting to know your loved ones. Your loved ones are getting to know us. We are building relationships, and it's a big change for folks, especially if they're coming from a home-like setting. What I will say when trying to find the right fit, I had a call this morning that was like this. If you're looking for couples, keep in mind that if you are dealing with somebody who has physical requirements, maybe they've had a stroke, they have weakness on one side, they need more physical assistance, but their spouse is memory care. Something unique to VIA is that we have memory care and assisted living integrated into one, which you've done an amazing job with. And I love to tell couples that because it's important. They don't want to be separated. They want to be with their loved one. And instead of ending up in a locked community where they are separated, they can stay together and partake in the same activities with the same caregivers because our staff is trained to help both physical and cognitive declined residents.
When people call and they want a tour, and mom is still at home living independently, but they know that it's time for mom to think about moving to assisted living because the family's been running back to the house and helping out, and it's getting to be too much. And it would be much easier if mom was close by, where they would be able to do that and then get some help. So, in finding the right fit, there are many ways to tour assisted living. You can grab mom and put her in the car and go schedule 3 or 4 appointments in a row and go from assisted living to assisted living. How do we recommend people tour, Ira?
We recommend people touring before bringing mom and dad, and them really finding the maybe the last top three that they may want to bring their loved ones in to see. But at the end of the day, most of our family members, their loved ones have dementia and are no longer able to make those decisions on their own, so they have to make the tough choices.
Even though we want them to make that decision,
yeah,
especially if you're the daughter, mom, please say yes, you'll go. It just makes it a lot easier.
It makes it hard.
But I will say, doing the legwork yourself makes a lot of sense because you can be very honest to the people that you're meeting with when you're touring about what you think mom's needs are, what's important to her, what's not important to her. Kind of give the people that you're touring with a chance to get to know you and get to know your mom. You can walk around the communities. How do you know if it's the right fit? Tour around lunchtime. And make sure that you walk through the community and that you see the residents that are there. Are they smiling? Are they happy? Are they well kempt? Are they disheveled? How do they look and how are they reacting? Because I think you can tell a lot from that. And then you can say, can I see my mom here? Can I see her with that person over there or this person over here? Can I see her making a friend? And,
take note of the staff, too. You mentioned looking at the residents and how they look and what they're doing. But look at your staff, too. Are they happy to be there? Are they well treated? It starts at the top. If your staff is happy to be there and to care for these residents, your loved one is going to get better care. Also, the facility itself. Is there an odor? Is it messy? Are they keeping up with the maintenance and the cleaning and the small things that you may not notice? Pay attention to when you're walking through these facilities.
And then you go out and you tour. If you're just doing this for the first time, you see 4 or 5 places and you decide, I think I like these 2 the best. That's where I'm going to take mom. And then you take her, you set it up. You can go for lunch. You can go before lunch, after lunch, whatever. And what I found is when people do that and then they come tour with mom, we just kind of keep our mouths shut. And the daughters are basically like, or the sons, oh, mom, this place does this, and this does this, and this does that. And you end up feeling a part of it.
I think a place that can manage all of those needs is big for finding the right fit for your loved one. So, especially with residents who have dementia, it's difficult to change their environment at each level of care that they're going to need. So
Every move gets harder.
it does.
As you go further. Although I'd say if you're, I tell people the move from home to assisted living is as hard as it can be. It's traumatic for the residents that move in, for their family, for their grandchildren, for us getting to know them. It's really hard. Moving from one assisted living, if you move somewhere and you're not happy, you leave a 30-day notice and then you move somewhere else.
Right.
That move is a little easier because
easier.
hopefully the grass is a little greener than what you've experienced.
Right.
And so that's a little easier. In finding the right fit, what else should people, what do you think? What else should people consider, Amy?
I think that you need to look at what services they're able to offer your loved one. Do they have a primary care doctor that is in the community, that visits the community so that you don't have to take your loved one out every time they need a doctor's appointment? Do they have dental services, podiatry services, any extra services so that you don't have to take your loved one out of the community every time they need something is imperative.
That's all we have for you today. We appreciate you joining us. It's been a lot of fun today. I've been here with Ira Branson, our executive director for Tucson, and Amy Schumann, our registered nurse and executive director in Sierra Vista. Next time, we're going to talk about what is the right time to move to assisted living, and we'll dive deep into that. So thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to and watching Via Voices, the podcast dedicated to exploring the many facets of assisted living and memory care. If you found today's episode informative, be sure to subscribe and tell a friend about us. We look forward to having you join us next time on Via Voices.